Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome to episode 3 of our Gold Rush or Bust Gold Empire gameplay series. I'm the Ultra Farmer. I'm just heading over on the ferry right now to take this last load of lumber to get sold off, and then we are headed to the auction in Riverbend Timbers to try and pick up some equipment. We've got a bunch of money saved up. Hopefully we'll have just over 300k. We're going to try and get an excavator, a dump truck, hopefully a front end loader, and maybe if we're lucky, some sort of a low bed trailer to haul it all back so we're not paying a crazy amount in trucking fees. It's going to be a big episode. We got a lot of work to do, so let's get with it. Let's go sell off this lumber and then make sure and stay tuned to see what we get at that auction. Alright, crew, we are just pulling into the warehouse here. I'm going to wrap around this backside. We're going to get this lumber sold off. I don't really know how much my cash we're going to get for this. I'm hoping like 50 or 60 grand. I figured I'd take the last little bit in before we left, just to get as much cash for this auction as we can. What do we got there? 82k for that. Boom. Okay, we're at 350. Not too bad. That's not too bad at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back down towards the ferry. I talked to the guys at the ferry. I'm going to leave this trailer just kind of parked there, and then we're going to head off to Riverbend Timbers. So I'm going to just leave the trailer right at the ferry for now. We'll take the Dodge, head up to Riverbend Timbers, and I'm going to hope and pray for the best up there. I know there's going to be some good equipment at this auction, so I'm pretty excited for that. I don't know what we're going to get. I don't know how much we're going to have to pay, but 355,000, I mean, that should be able to get us a good something. At the very least, whoa! At the very least, maybe a truck that doesn't do that anymore, or a driver that knows what's going on. I was so good on the way here. If you know, look at these tracks on the way to the warehouse. They're nice and straight. There was none of that. I was being all conscious of it. As soon as this trailer was empty, though, I think maybe having a little bit of weight on it was good for it. But okay, off to the auction I go. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. Think happy thoughts. Think excavator thoughts, and think thoughts that I don't get outbid on a bunch of stuff. I'll meet you guys back at the farm / mine when all this is done, and I'll have a final tally and a list of stuff that we get, and I can't wait, because regardless, even if I don't get anything good, I'm definitely going to buy an excavator. If we got to go buy one brand new and that's all we get this episode, then that's all we get. But regardless, we're going to get something, and we're going to be able to start gold mining a little bit to get some pay dirt out of the ground. So again, wish me luck in Riverbend Timbers, and I will be back very soon. Alright, crew, we are back from the auction. It was a long little trip, and it took a few days for everything to arrive. It took a week or so for everything to arrive, but we have ourselves a fleet of equipment. The auction was a massive success. As you can see behind us, we got ourselves an excavator, a front end loader, and a dump truck that's really going to help everything out. The excavator is it's a 325C. You can kind of see behind me, and then the front loader is a 310. It's a 310W or something like that, and I'm pretty sure this JCB is a 714. Awesome. Super happy with everything. Let's go through. Let's kind of check everything out. As you can see, snow has hit around here too, so we're probably going to get a chance to use some of this stuff, maybe clear some snow out. And we still got to keep clearing our area, the pad area, so that we can put down a shop, trommel, gold room eventually, and kind of everything in between. But let's go through. Let's take a look at everything that we got here. So first we got the 325C excavator. Not the biggest excavator in the world. Those are... This thing wants to pick up some snow. Yeah, not the biggest excavator in the world, but it's definitely going to work for us real good. If we come in here, this one had 15 hours on it, so not too bad. 210 horse. This will be a good little unit. This will be a perfect starter unit. Well, I think we will always keep this unit. And it cost us, the cat cost us 57,000 bucks. We ended up getting this for 57,000 bucks. Then we got the old Hitachi. This is a 310. I'm almost positive. Let me just go check. Actually, it probably says on the side of it. Yeah, it's a 310. So it's got 34 hours on it, and we ended up picking this one up for 75,000. This cost 75,000, but this bucket will hold 10,000 liters worth of material, so we'll be able to really scoop and clear some stuff out, which is awesome. And the old JCB bumper probably needs a little bit of paint. This one is, yes, it is a 714. Again, this one had 34 hours on it, so not too terribly much. And the JCB, we ended up paying 59,000 for it. So pretty good auction, I would say, for sure. This setup will do good for us for a long time. We'll be able to get some gold out of the ground. I'm really hoping. Now, it's kind of later in the afternoon. It's been a long few weeks and stuff. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go get some sleep. I'm going to, have some supper, get some sleep. Let this snow kind of keep falling if it's gonna keep falling. And once it quits, maybe we'll go around and we'll clear some stuff out. I'm just gonna jump over to the dozer. As you can see, I've really kind of cleared this area. It's kind of hard to tell, obviously, because there's snow on the ground. But I've been piling all this up, getting the pad cleared out so that we can eventually get a shop down. And we got to get the trommel set up over here and a gold room. But a lot of that's going to have to happen kind of in the spring. So once the snow obviously quits, we'll start clearing this out and continue on. But yep, everything worked out really good. I'm happy with everything that we got. Again, not the biggest excavator that we can get, but it'll be perfect for us for right now. All right, I'm just kind of getting the last little chunk of this snow cleared off. I've been clearing snow, it feels like all morning here. I was trying to get a trail built out for the cabin. I want to take a bunch of material over to the cabin. We got planks, we got some concrete bags and stuff that we can put over there. And I cleared the pad, like where we've been clearing out all the gravel. I got a bunch of snow moved off that. I was kind of going through testing the new front loader, just seeing how it works with everything, and then yeah, I figured I'd kind of clear out this area a little bit so I can park some of this equipment. So I'm just gonna leave this dozer right here for right now. I've got everything like kind of sitting here running. This loader works really good actually. Set that down. I'm gonna leave the hoe running. I've just kind of fired everything up just to keep it's kind of cold out right now, so I wanted to get everything running. Let's back this unit in. Now that being said, everything's been running pretty good, so I might shut down some of this stuff. We'll shut down this unit. Yeah, sorry, the excavator wasn't running, but let's let it sit and run a bit. What I want to do is jump in this unit, fire this guy back up, and I want to haul some stuff over to the cabin area. I want to get stuff held over to the cabin, and then we're going to fill the production facility, the concrete production facility, with as much gravel as we can, and start making some concrete blocks and some roof plates for the cabin eventually. Now, I don't know exactly what we need over here. I haven't actually taken the time to sit and look. I think I need about 3,000 liters. No, I probably need about 1,000 liters of both planks, long planks, and beams. We'll go see. I've put a few bags of concrete in over here. I think we're good for concrete bags, but the next thing is going to be, the blocks, and again, eventually the roof plates, kind of all that stuff. So let's just see. Okay, took all of that. Feels like nothing's happening, but all of a sudden, something's gonna happen over there. It just takes a little bit of time. I can't wait though. I'll tell you, sleeping in that sea can was kind of cold last night. It was kind of cold. But all in due time, all in due time. Another thing that I kind of want to do is I got to get the road cleared out of snow so I can get a trommel trucked in for us. But it doesn't really matter too much. I might just give it another month just to let the kind of snow pass, because it doesn't really matter if we get it out just yet. Obviously I want to get some gold. Well, I want to make some gold, but it's just going to be so difficult over there with the snow and the ice. I don't want to slip one of these pieces of equipment into the river, something weird. Nothing's corked either. I don't have like the excavator, it's not corked, so those tracks are going to be super slippery sitting by that riverbank. It almost might be best just to, let Mother Nature do her thing. We'll kind of let the snow and stuff pass, and then in the springtime we can go over there and just work on that. It'll give us a chance to work on the cabin as well a bit, and get some lumber and stuff brought over here, and then really clear out the pad. That's kind of something I really want to get done over the next month or so, is to get the pad. We'll get as much of the gravel into the concrete production facility as we can to kind of refine it, and then the rest of it I'm just going to kind of stockpile over to the side. Now that we got that front loader, it'll kind of make short work of doing that, kind of. Now what I'm going to see if I can do here, one thing I haven't tried with this unit is if I can kind of push these pallets together. See if we can kind of push these together. It's either gonna work real good or not good at all. And I might be able to grab both of these at the same time. Although I don't know if I need really any more short planks over there, but let's see if this is gonna work. I might just have to get right in the sweet spot. There it is, right in the sweet spot. We'll take this over, and then at least it's sitting at the cabin. If we've got to sell this off in the future, we will, but I mean, it don't really matter. A couple planks, we'll build a shelf or something. I'm gonna have to build, yeah, you know what, we'll build ourselves a nice bed. That's what we'll do. Now, the trommel's gonna cost us 45 grand and a little bit of money to get it kind of like trucked out here and set up. It'll probably cost like 50 grand all said and done, which is fine. We still got a good chunk of cash. Now, yeah, I don't know if we need these planks in the drop off right now, so I'm just gonna kind of set everything to the side. We'll leave that right there for now. It will get used. It will get used. Alright, let's go park this unit. Let's go jump in the other front loader and let's start moving some gravel around. That concrete production facility will hold 250,000 liters of concrete, so our bucket will scoop 10,000 at a time. Now, I put a couple scoops in there this morning, so probably another like 20 or so, yeah, around 20-ish more kind of scoops will get that thing full. Yeah, there's already more bags of concrete being made. I don't really know what I'm going to do with all this stuff, to be honest. But if we got to sell it off in the future, if like we got to take a load in and kind of get it sold, that's what we'll do. Or I'm sure we'll be able to find something else for us to build, maybe a barn or something. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's jump over. I'm still just going to let that hoe run for a bit. Let that thing run. And we're gonna get some scoops in this. Let's jump in the cab here and see what it's like. What's nice is it's got this like really good big windshield. You can kind of just see everything really, really good. Yeah, 10,000 liters of pop is gonna be pretty not too bad. I might just sit out in this view though, so I don't back into anything. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of just keep clearing out this gravel. I still gotta push some over on the side with the dozer and kind of pile it up a bit. I think if I just kind of keep 2 piles along each side for now, but I want to clear this one that's in front of us here to the right. I want to get that one kind of cleared out first. I guess it doesn't really matter, but actually I probably should kind of try and do a little bit of both so I can get lumber a little bit easier into the sawmill if I have to. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do, just in case, because like the right side we can always kind of push it and I can stockpile it along the tree line. And we're just going to be moving gravel. Soon we'll be moving pay dirt, and hopefully we'll be moving gold after that. That is going to be awesome. The next main goal is obviously to get the trommel down and get some pay dirt worked through it, and get some concentrate. Now we're going to have to eventually build ourselves a gold room, which I kind of have a plan for how I'm going to do this. What I've been doing in the back corner over there is I've been clearing out kind of like a U shape of trees, and I'm going to put a shop in front there, and I'm going to put the gold room out back. I'm going to kind of try and hide the gold room in the tree line so that the shop is kind of out front, protecting it a little bit. Not that it's a big deal, you know, we're out in the middle of nowhere here and no one's around, but people will try and rob us, you know, it is what it is. We've got to kind of try and protect the gold room a little bit, and you know, it's not like people can still walk through the trees, but I think if we kind of keep her tucked away just a little bit from, you know, from peering eyes, or if we're out and about, I don't want to I don't want to get robbed. We can't get robbed of our gold. We might have to build ourselves a pretty sweet safe one day. This will go. Let's just check on our thing here. What do we got? 100,000 liters in there. So we got about 15 more bucketfuls of this that we can put in. You know, we'll probably work through this. The thing is, though, is we're gonna have more kind of concrete bags and blocks and stuff than we know what to do with. But you know, if we like I said, we could take a trailer full of concrete in to sell off one day, and just for some little extra cash. I don't really want to obviously focus on doing this too much, but we need this stuff to finish the cabin. The cabin is the most important thing to me right now. No, the second most important thing. Gold is the first thing. The cabin is the second. I was just really hoping for us to get some good equipment. Finally, we did. Glad I went to that auction. Obviously, it's not brand new iron. It's not the biggest of everything, but this loader, I mean, I thought when I got another loader, I was gonna have to kind of sacrifice and get something a bit smaller, but getting this for 75 grand is, even used, is pretty good. 10,000 liters per bucket scoop. I mean, that's pretty not too bad, I would say. More what I'm getting at is I don't think we'll have to buy ourselves a new loader for a really long time. The only thing we'll ever probably really need to, well, not the only thing, but one thing we'll definitely want to upgrade on in the future is a bigger excavator. But like some of the ones that I kind of have had my eye on, it's not going to dump in there. There we go. Is about $1.5 million bucks. Now those are some big units with big buckets, and they'll take some big scoops of earth when they do take the scoops, which is unreal. But at, you know, $1.5 million bucks, that's a lot more million bucks than we have right now. So that'll just have to be in time. But you know, when you got a bucket that'll scoop like 30,000 liters per scoop, that'll fill our little dump truck right up. Now, also what I'll probably end up doing in the future, depending on when we hit a really good spot in the pay dirt, like if we hit a really good spot, I might end up buying a second trommel and kind of getting it set up closer to wherever that is. For now, I think I'm just going to kind of keep the trommel over here close, kind of close by the shop, and just, yeah. But yeah, in the future, might end up setting another one down. Since it's only 45 grand, we could really be, we could kind of be setting one up closer to wherever we hit a sweet spot at. Or what we could do is try and set up some sort of conveyor belt situation. Again, all that stuff is just kind of down the road. But so I'm gonna keep going here, kind of keep filling this unit up. I'll bring you guys back in April and then in the spring a little bit more once the snow is passed and we can really start digging up some of that pay dirt. And hopefully I can have this a spot cleared here for the trommel, and yeah, we'll start really getting some gold out of the ground. Right, crew, welcome back. Welcome to April. Welcome to gold mining season. I'm actually fired up right now. I can't wait. I got our trommel out. The crew came out. Finally, all the snow is gone. Well, most of the snow is gone. A little bit left there, but I got to get diesel into the trommel. So what I decided to do. Do we want all of those? No. Maybe let's spin around and do this. We got to put diesel in the trommel to make it work. The only kind of crappy thing is I basically have to put diesel in the in my tidy tank and then kind of transfer it into the trommel. I don't think I can actually just put this tank right in, which is fine. It's fine. I decided to put the trommel right here for a couple reasons. One, I still want to just kind of, I'm still clearing out gravel and stuff off our main pad where like our shop and stuff is going to eventually go. So let's just back this over and maybe park this. Yeah, just right here is fine for now. Let's jump into the truck and I'll kind of keep explaining. So I'm going to have to fill this up and then transfer it over. Or if I can just do, oh man, I might have tricked it. I'm like loading up my my tank, but I'm also trying to drop it into the trommel at the same time. So we got like a double transfer going on. But what I decided to do was put the trommel here. And if I come into this mode, I'm kind of planning that we're going to find the most of our gold in this dip. in the like the natural curve of this river, if it was me or if I in my geology that I know of, gold would settle in this corner. It would slowly wash in over the years, and this is where it would get trapped. So my thought process is that we start from here and we're going to kind of work our way towards the main laydown area of like the gold mine farm, and I'm hoping we hit it the best in here. If good, if so, great. If not, oh well. I also think that it's kind of like in the middle of this. I know it's more towards this way, but I kind of wanted to just keep it away from everything a little bit. So it's kind of like the halfway, ish point, even though right here would probably be halfway. But if I start over here, I can just use the dump truck to go back and forth. And as we work our way closer to the trommel, it'll be shorter and shorter trips. Hopefully when I'm digging right in this area, like eventually I can have the excavator sitting like right here digging and basically dumping right into the trommel. Is my like kind of loose plan. I'm just going to spin back over here and grab some more diesel. We're going to have to make a trip into town at some point probably to get more fuel. I've kind of trying to been plan this out. I don't know if I can. I'm thinking what I'll probably end up doing is setting down a big fuel tank out here and then just paying for someone to come out each, I don't know, every 3 months or something like that, or every 2 months and fill the big tank. And then that way we kind of have fuel out here because we're out in the boonies a little bit, but we're not that far out. People know we're out here. They've trucked enough equipment to us, so I can talk to the guys at the warehouse and line something like that up, even if it costs a bit of cash. That's not the end of the world. Okay, so let's jump out. Let's get into the mini gold trommel. So we got 2,000 liters put in here. We're gonna need more diesel out here. That's for sure. So I'll kind of work on that in the back, but I want to get going. I want to start putting some gold concentrate in here. So I'm gonna leave the product. You know what? Let's turn the productivity up to 150 for right now. Let's move the Dodge. 2,000 liters should get us going for a bit on there. At least, yeah, it should get us going a bit. Let's go park the Dodge. Well, we'll fill up our tidy tank. Run into that one. Let's jump over, not into the dozer. We're gonna get over here with the excavator. I slowly started pulling over. What I want to do is I kind of just want to get the excavator in a good spot, and then we're gonna back the dump truck over as well. I've kind of created this little spot on the side. This is where we're probably gonna have to dump most of the concentrate, or the pay dirt rather, and I'm gonna have to use the front loader to dump it in the trommel itself. But that hopper for the trommel is just a little bit too tall. I don't think the dump truck will, unless I put down a ramp or something, I don't think I'll be able to back right up to it and dump directly into the trommel. So I'll just, yeah, we'll just do it that way for now. And I want to clear out, I might clear out a few of these trees just to make it a little bit easier to kind of maneuver around. But my plan was like if I can get the excavator set right about, I kind of just want to be on the left side of this tree. And if I can get somewhere like this, because this I'll be able to scoop pretty far out, right? And I'm hoping, yeah, if I'm not too deep in, if we have the dump truck, somewhere, yeah, somewhere like right there where I can dump into. Let's go see. Let's hop in this unit. I want to think of like a natural swing point where it'll be easy for me to kind of rotate swing the house over and to just dump right into the dump truck. Like, see, I'm just a little bit too short here. Let's see, won't be able to dump in unless we had a ramp or something. I mean, I guess I could build something with the dozer. I could create a bit of a ramp, but I'll worry about that later on. So say, just to back up. Yeah, like right about there would be good. Should be good. If I set the unit right there, we'll take it off right now. Yeah, I'll be able to do that, and then I can swing over and I can stay basically. Yeah, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the ticket. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to set this to lowering. We've got our discharge set. Oh my god, are we gonna start digging some pay dirt? Is that what's actually gonna happen right now? Here it is, folks. Our very first scoop. Oh yeah. Oh my god. And we tipped. And we tipped. Oh god, we have an issue. We have an issue, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna have to swing the house over. We're gonna have to push down and push ourselves out. We're not counterweighted very good here. Oh no, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to dig over the side of the unit, but I also don't want to. Oh god. We have an issue. We have an issue. I don't think we can. I think our bucket is too intense for this unit. I think we're gonna have to get a different bucket. Oh my god. We were so close. It's just a little bit too heavy. It's a little too heavy. So, what we can probably do though, if I can dump this right there, we're gonna have to get a different bucket. This bucket's obviously too big. It holds too much unit, or too much, and it's the cat's just not counterweighted enough for it. So what we'll have to do for right now, yeah, too heavy of a bucket, too big of a bucket. So let's try not to smash into the JCB there. Let's tab over to this unit. Let's get this pulled out of the way. Dang. Yeah, when we got a full bucket full, it's just too heavy. It's just too heavy. So we're gonna have to get a smaller digging bucket. That's okay though. There is smaller digging buckets that we can get. Let's jump back over in this unit. I'm just gonna go out into this mode real quick here. See if we can back up. Yeah, it's not even letting me back up. It doesn't really got enough gem. We're gonna have to push. Give ourselves a little push. There we go. Just pushing down with the bucket, articulating out, give ourselves a push out of that situation. Now, maybe if I'm sitting up here, it'll be a little bit better. No, it's pretty heavy. That's a pretty heavy bucket over just the side of this unit. So that's what we'll have to do. We'll have to get ourselves a different bucket. This one's just a little bit too heavy. And yeah, you know, that's gold mine, and that's okay though. That's okay. I can run to town and I can get us a different bucket. So let me just drop a little bit more right here. Okay, let's shut this unit down. Or shut the digging part of it off. Yeah, that is a pretty big bucket for this one. You know, when I was there, I had a choice to get two, and I was like, give me the big one, right? Of course. And it's just going to be a little bit too heavy. But if we can get this, we'll get the cat out of the way for right now. You know what? We were digging. It was almost too good to be true that we just like rolled in and just was able to start digging. But that's okay. What I want to do right now, we'll walk this back over. I'm going to set this bucket right there. Leave the cat right here. We're going to jump into this unit. I'm going to hook onto that bucket. Should be able to lift this bucket with this guy, hopefully. Yeah, we lifted some pretty heavy pallets of... wood. Yeah, it lifts it not too bad. We'll go throw this on the trailer, and I'll have to run to town and swap this out, which will take a little bit of time. That's okay. I can do it relatively quickly. We'll swap this, but before I do that, before I go do that kind of monkeying around, do you think I could just put it in the box of the truck? No, you cannot. You can't. As much as I would want to, instead of taking the trailer, we cannot just put it in the box. We'll throw her on this trailer. Try and put it over the axle a little bit there. Yeah, that's good. Do two things here. Let's jump out and let's strap. Oh. Let's jump in this unit. Let's go scoop some of that pay dirt up and put it in the trough. you know, we didn't get to do it quite the way we wanted. We're gonna have to get a different bucket, but this will work pretty good. This is what we waited for anyways, was to be able to get a little bit of pay dirt into a gold production trommel so that we can maybe get some concentrate. There we go. 10,000 liters, not too bad. Dang, I wanted to use our dump truck a little bit. Might have to go through and cut some of these trees out. I'll do that as well, kind of in the meantime before we really get going, so that we're not running into stuff over here. There we go, folks. Our first scoop in. We're officially gold mining now. We were logging for a little bit. We were a gravel landscaping company for a little bit, but now I think we are officially gold miners. We're gold miners with an excavator that doesn't have a bucket that works just yet, but that's okay. Sometimes things happen. Roll with the punches. I thought I was going to scoop a bit better there. All right, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna go dump this into the trommel. Then I'll head to town and swap out that bucket. I'll just go do that quick and kind of save you some messing around. Maybe even we'll take some of these trees out just to make things, maybe make life a little bit easier for us here. And yeah, once I'm back, we'll really start digging up that riverbank. Hopefully we'll be able to load up the dump truck, and we won't have to kind of do this situation. But even if we have to, even if it is still a little bit too heavy and we just got to kind of stockpile behind there like I did and do trips back and forth with the front loader, then we will. Team, we are back in action here. We're digging. It's working out pretty good. I've got like a decent setup here. To be honest though, what I probably will end up doing is not using this dump truck. Like, I mean, not use it, but it's a little bit, it's like all right. But I probably would be best just to dump it on the ground and honestly come over and just scoop it up with the front loader. But I'm still gonna use it right now because it's fun. So we're just digging along here. This bucket's way better. It's smaller. It only does 2,500 liter scoops, but like, I mean, that's okay because it works. The main thing is that it works. It was basically like a wash when it came to the money. I'm just gonna try and do a little bit of a scoop over here. I want to get some of this. Just kind of dig some of this back, and I'm gonna pull some of this material a little bit closer to me. But yeah, like the hose, it's like almost just like a little bit not tall enough to get it on this in the dump. Let's go check and see how much is in the dump. Oh yeah, 99%. Look at us go. What I gotta do is I'll try and figure out something to build like a ramp. If I could build a ramp, that would be pretty cool. But yeah, we won't be able to dump right into this. Yeah, no, we're not gonna be able to. But that's okay. I'll dump it right beside. I think I'll dump it right beside. If I can. It's like it's pretty heavy for this for this little dump truck, to be honest. But we got some pay dirt now. We got some pay dirt. I think though, yeah, I'll just let this pay dirt sit here. And I'll eventually scoop it with the front loader. Let's just park this dude right here for right now. You know, we could do some scoops in while we're right here. But I think what I'll do with the excavator is just kind of make a pile on the ground. And I can do trips back and forth with this probably a little bit quicker, I think anyways. Especially since this is like 10,000 liters per scoop. I'll be able to kind of go back and forth. Like, it's only 2,500 liters per bucket full that I do. So when I do 10, that's 25,000 liters, and that would be like 2.5 scoops from this unit to come over to the trommel. So I think I'll probably just do that, just leave her on the ground for now. However, the dump truck will be awesome to have. It will be good to have in the future for sure. If I can figure out how to. There we go. Let's get a better scoop there. Get a better scoop. Yeah, the dump truck will be good in the future, because once we get kind of a little bit, once I get a better system, even with a bigger excavator, and if I can build a ramp to this, once I have a bigger excavator that can do like bigger scoops, and if we can build some sort of a ramp right up to this unit, well then I'll be able to use the dump truck, fill it in like 2 or 3 bucketfuls, pull over here, dump in. Yeah, it'll be something we can use in the future, I think, for sure. But we're doing it. We're gold mining now. We've got pay dirt being worked through, and we're gonna get some gold concentrate from this. Now, the next thing that we'll have to do is we need a gold room. We need to be able to take that concentrate and refine it into actual like gold flakes. Well, not necessarily gold flakes, but a little bit more. Yeah, just kind of a little bit like a jar of gold is what we're gonna need to have to take off to sell. So the gold room is going to be 120,000 bucks. I know that's how much it is to set it down, to get it built and all that stuff. So we may have to go do some logging, which we're going to have to do anyways because we've got to continue framing the cabin. Now, I don't want to take you over there and spoil it just yet, but the cabin is coming along nicely. The foundation's done and a lot of the exterior walls are up. So, oh, we got to turn this unit back on real quick here. There we go. So yes, the cabin is coming along very nicely, and that's something we'll go check out at the beginning of next episode. I think probably what we'll end up doing here is I'll probably end this episode right about here, and I'm just going to kind of keep digging, getting some of this pay dirt and stuff out so that we're ready to go for next episode. Next episode is going to be a ton of digging. Like I said, we got to get more lumber through the sawmill so that we can get the production going and get more planks, get more beams, get all that stuff. Because we got to pay for the gold room, and I'd like to get a shop at some point, but also we need the lumber for the cabin. Can't wait for the cabin to be done. I'm hoping, if not next episode, maybe the one after that. I'm hoping the cabin will be done. Let me just I want to just spin my tracks here a little bit. I don't want to dig over the side of the excavator. You never want to dig over the side. This is what a lot of the Hohans have told me in the past. You never want to dig over the side. Your counterweight and everything, it's better if you're like in line with your tracks for digging, because it'll have a natural tendency to tip. Now also, what I was told, maybe if there's actually some operators out there who's running a bunch of heavy equipment, I actually, believe it or not, in real life have run this exact excavator, 326. Actually, I think it was a 325, but it was like basically the same thing. It was a smaller unit like this. I got kind of funny stories with that. I got funny stories with that excavator that maybe we'll talk about next episode. I gotta try and push myself out of the hole. There we go. But the one thing I was told with a cat excavator is the reason guys like running them so much, and some of them will prefer, is that they're counterweighted very nicely. A lot of excavators, which obviously you could see when I had a too full of a bucket, when you make a full scoop like that, and you're fully extended. Let me just scoop this bucket in. If you're fully extended like this, you see how the excavator starts to rock back and forth. Now we're kind of on a bit of a hill, but apparently cats are really well counterweighted so that won't usually happen, and it makes it a lot better. Like when you're running the piece of equipment all day, you don't bounce around in the cab so much. So if there's any operators out there who've actually run excavator on a consistent basis and know the difference between the Komatsus, the John Deeres, the Hitachis, all that stuff, let me know. Okay. That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I appreciate it like you wouldn't believe. Hopefully you have a good afternoon, morning, evening, whenever it is that you're watching this. And I will see you guys on the next episode.